it's Lighthouse Angel Messages. Today I'm just doing a general reading for the collective to see what messages want to come out that you need to hear right now. Keep in mind, just take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And on this channel, we focus on taking you from zero to hero in your own life, getting you unstuck and moving forward. So let's go ahead and get started. We have 3 different cards that I pulled as the overall energy that they want the messages to get out for. And it's the Penguin Spirit. It's authentic. It says, reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations and just be yourself. You know, and what I'm getting with this is don't be brave and be authentic. That's what I'm getting from this card. Be brave and be authentic. And don't be afraid to reach out to family or friends if you're going through a difficult time. Just make sure they're for you, right? They're not toxic people, but make sure they're for you. And if you need help, ask for it. And just be yourself. Be brave enough to be yourself. And then we also have Peacock, which is vibrancy. You may be seeing peacock feathers as well as really coming out for me. It says vibrancy. It says you were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. Yeah. Don't forget how to shine your bright light. You know, make sure you're grateful for everything that you have in your life currently, right now, right? You need to learn how to grow where you're at, the seeds that you've planted, and grow where you're at so you can show the divine that you're ready for more, right? Be grateful for where you are. And again, this is another confirmation to be true to yourself. So again, it's still talking about loving your uniqueness, be grateful for where you are, who you are, right? Living in that authenticity, and also, you know, recognize your own brilliance. And through that uniqueness, you shine that bright light. And then we have Owl Spirit, which is magic. It says, choose to know the truth because you can. Again, it's talking about authenticity, living in your truth, your uniqueness, right? In your own personal strength. Open your inner vision. You can see through the deception. And I'm being drawn to these eyes. So you may be noticing that your spiritual gifts have been expanding. You might be seeing visions. You might be noticing that you're having visions either through your dreams or just through meditation. Make sure you write them down, okay? Let the past go and make room for a better life. Rise up. Magic and wisdom are your birthright. Yeah. And if you're not feeling like you have these gifts yet, I feel like it's what's coming for you. You know, you're going to be able to expand those gifts and use them because wisdom is your birthright, right? You being the magic of wisdom. That's what I'm getting. Magic of wisdom. Like the all-knowing through your visions. Okay. I'm also getting with this peacock, you may be working on your looks, like you may be going to starting to work out again. If you are, congratulations. That's a great avenue to go down to improving your health and just improving your overall well-being. You also may be changing some of your eating habits as well to improving your health, because it's really going to show. I'm getting with this peacock spirit, it's really going to show. It's only going to expand your light, is what I'm getting as well. So let's get some more cards on that and see what else Spirit wants to tell us about this overall. And what I'm getting is, you know, I'm also hearing, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the expansion of your spiritual gifts, the visions. And like I said, make sure you write them down, because sometimes we have visions and then they don't come to fruition. You know, it could be months, could be years down the line, but make sure you write them down. I'm also hearing, and stay authentic. Okay, what else? We have new opportunities. The number 5. And I'm also getting, you may have gone through a season of healing, and your rainbow is arriving, right? And it may be through the healing you found your power through your healing here, by becoming your authentic self, right? Standing true and loving your uniqueness, your own peacock feathers here. And through that, you found your magic. So whatever path you're on right now, Spirit wants you to keep going. The divine wants you to keep going. Okay? It says, declutter your life, glimpse a magical doorway. Again, we're talking about magic. It's a confirmation here. There's something coming in. This opportunity is going to feel like magic. You're not expecting this. But what I'm also getting with this, if you can see this card, but it's like the heart chakra is lit up on this unicorn, as well as this man walking through this door. Now, we're not talking about gender here. It can be male or female, right? But something is triggered in between these two these two hearts right here. And I'm looking at the unicorn as a confirmation of this uniqueness, right? So this could signify this new opportunity. This person may see your uniqueness, right? And they want to open this doorway for you, and you're not expecting it, right? You may have seen this coming through visions. I'm also getting, if that's for you, it's a confirmation. Or maybe you've seen an owl recently, would be another confirmation. But there's definitely a new opportunity coming in after a season of healing. It's like your rainbow is here. And I'm also seeing in this card how, you know, they're in the clouds. Like this person that's coming in is healed. They're awakened and they're elevated. They've elevated their vibration. How they're like, the top of this mountain is way above everything else. They're on your level. I'm hearing they're on your level. But this is really exciting. You know, it's a confirmation that you're on the right track. At the bottom of the deck, we have listen to your heart, number 7. Awaken psychic abilities. Tune into the infinite. Yes. You know what I'm getting with this? What I'm getting with this is that when you meet this person, it's going to even trigger even more. It's going to be like a shock to your psychic abilities. It's like if you were having visions before, you're going to have even more visions, even more psychic gifts. You know, it could be through sight, hearing. I'm hearing. But it's going to be, it's part of the healing I'm also getting as well. So they want you to listen to your heart, okay? Follow your heart as well. I'm going to leave this one out. Okay? But it's like your rainbow's coming in. There's rainbows in both these cards. And again, they're both clarifying the owl magic here and the penguin, authenticity. About your uniqueness, about the magic, about your psychic abilities. So whatever path you're on, especially for those who are making some changes, maybe you're making some positive changes to some bad habits that you had. Maybe you're drinking more water, doing more meditation. Maybe you're taking spiritual baths. Maybe you're doing some more spiritual practices that are connecting you more with the divine. Keep doing that, because it's creating and expanding your light and your gifts. Okay? All right, let's get some more. I'm going to get one of these. And if you really look at all these cards, they're very, very bright in color. So whatever you're doing, you really are awakening your glow, is what I'm hearing. You're awakening your glow. So keep making those changes, keep pushing forward, keep working on elevating yourself to your best version. It says, don't be afraid to say I love you or thank you to those who deserve to hear it. Don't be scared of embarrassing yourself or appearing sloppy. You will never regret a heartfelt I love you or a message of appreciation. You will only ever regret not saying it. Okay. And this message may not be for everyone, okay? But for those of you who are in the energy of having feelings for somebody, or maybe somebody did something for you and you're unsure or afraid or nervous to say or speak your feelings, Spirit is saying you need to say something or you're gonna regret it. I'm also hearing time's running out. For somebody out there, time's running out. You know, you never can go wrong, and this is the other thing. You never can go wrong speaking your truth, okay? Never. Because the worst thing that can happen out of that is that this person, maybe you don't get the same response, right? Or maybe they don't say anything, or maybe they don't respond. But the thing is that it really doesn't matter. It's about you speaking your truth, right? So, just think of it as if I speak my truth about how I feel about this person and they still don't say anything, I'm okay with that because I spoke my truth, and I'm okay with that. If this person doesn't feel the same way and they walk away, they're just not for you, because anything that is meant for you is not going to leave you. Okay? I always say, what's meant for me will never pass me by. Yeah, if it's meant for you, it's gonna stick. If it's not, it's not. It just means that you're not in alignment with it, with that person. The timing could be off. You may be spiritually grown and no longer in alignment with each other, whatever it may be. And that might not even be the case. This person, it could be that they don't even know how you feel, right? Because you've never said anything. And so they keep it moving. Whatever it is, you need to be authentic and speak your truth. You can never go wrong. And if you're there saying, well, I can't be vulnerable. I don't want to be in a vulnerable state. You know what? Being vulnerable takes strength, and that shows your true power. Being afraid and sitting in your fear, which is an illusion, by the way. It just keeps you from the very thing that you want, right? Is to speak your truth. But being vulnerable is not a weakness, it's a strength. Whether you're man or woman, and especially in men, because men are taught that, oh no, we don't talk about our feelings, and that's not true. Some of the most attractive men are the men that are willing to be vulnerable. So if you're somebody who's sitting on the fence on whether I should say something, you need to move forward, okay? Let's see. I'm gonna get one love card for this, and I'm gonna get a career card for the new opportunity coming in. But before that, I'm gonna get one card. Never let your fears drive you, okay? Whether it's a job, a relationship, or whatever it may be. Maybe it's a project, a business, whatever it is. You need to stay in alignment with your truth, okay? Vulnerability is required in life. And if you would continue to ignore it, then you're continuing not living in your truth. Okay, what else? We just keep getting more and more confirmations. I love it. It says, there is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. And that's just what I was saying. There is nothing sexier than somebody's authentic truth. No matter, that's why I'm saying, that's why vulnerability is so incredibly attractive. A lot of people are afraid of it. And they shouldn't be. Because knowing the depth of somebody creates an incredible connection. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Okay? When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Yeah, and that's talking about holding that higher vibration, talking about speaking the I am affirmations, speaking positivity into your world, your life, right? When it comes to your job, your relationship, your goals, your dreams, always focusing on that it's on its way to you, that you're worthy of it, whether it's love, you're worthy of your dreams. And then when you focus on the positive aspects of life, not what is, right? Not what your current situation that you may be dealing with, right? Whatever difficulties or blocks, or even if you're in some kind of stagnancy or nothing's happening, you need to focus on speaking the words and affirmations of what is coming in. Not where you are, but where you're going, right? And through that, it's operating out of the lens of love, right? Because there's no negativity, only positive affirmations and positive truths of what you're trying to attract and bring into your life. Okay, so I want to get one card for the career, and let's learn more about this new opportunity, and then I'll get one for the love, depending on who is here for what. What do we want to know about this new opportunity? And what came out is public face. Follow your heart. Become who you want to be. Earn a reputation. It's okay to be yourself. I mean, we just keep getting more and more and more confirmations. Again, this is talking about following your heart. And I know one of these cards said follow your heart. I can't remember which one it is, but follow your heart. And it's about being yourself, being authentic, okay? You may be put in the public eye with this new opportunity. Don't be afraid of this, okay? Because Spirit is saying it's a magical doorway, Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have fruits of labor. It's time to reap the fruits of your labor and become rich. Rich gain is here. There's going to be money with this. If you're having any, and underneath that we have new beginning. Yeah. So this is something new coming in. Definitely new. Okay. And I think it's something you're not expecting. Maybe you thought it was going to come. Maybe you knew something like this might come in and you thought it was going to look a certain way. And maybe it's coming in a different looking package. Maybe you thought it was going to be this job and then it ends up being something completely different, but better, right? So, but if you're having any financial issues currently, this new opportunity is going to rectify those issues. Okay? So just keep praying, keep focusing on the divine, and keep speaking out those positive affirmation about your finances. I am going to be abundant. I am going to be prosperous. I am going to be successful. I will be financially abundant. Okay? Keep saying your affirmations because it's working. Okay? So let's get one love message for this I love you. This person who's unsure about speaking their feelings. Let's get some clarity about that. No matter what, I'm getting this as I'm looking at this card here. Always, 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 even if it requires you to be vulnerable, speak your truth. You'll never have regrets. Even if you don't get the response that you're looking for from that person, you can walk away with your head held high, knowing you spoke your truth, and you don't have any regrets. You won't be looking back. You can actually move forward with no strings attached, right? We live in a world where most people are living with not one mask, many masks, right? A lot of people are wearing masks these days, and everything's an illusion that's created through photos and social media and all of this. So that's why it's so important for you to love your uniqueness and stay with your authentic truth. Walk in it, speak in it, even the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, everything that you do, be authentic, because there's no one like you. There's nobody like you out there. I mean, it's easy to paint on and look like other people that are out there. But that's the divine gave you your own uniqueness that God wants you to embrace. It's truly a gift. Okay? So don't try to be like someone else by having to wear different masks for different situations. It's exhausting. Stay in your authentic truth. Okay? And we've all done it. We've all had to go through different periods of growth, right? When we're younger, we want to fit in and we want to be included, so we might, wear a mask of what we think people want to hear or want us to be, right? Make sure you be you, right? Because when I'm hearing this, when you're in your authentic truth, then what you're going to attract is people who are true to you, right? They're in their truth. And those kind of people stick around. They push you up. They raise you up, right? Because like attracts like. All right, let's get one more. Okay. So what I'm getting for this love scenario here, this person, oops, is that they are in regret. This person is in regret that they didn't say something sooner. Okay, the exact thing that says at the bottom of the card, you will only regret not saying it. That's the energy this person is in. So if you have been waiting for someone to speak their truth about their feelings, okay, they're in sorrow. It says loss, grief, depression. Okay, they're at a loss because they didn't do what I was saying they need to do, which is speak their truth, right? And now they may have missed the opportunity, because from what I'm seeing, it looks like you're good all on your own. You've embraced your uniqueness. You know who you are. You're listening to your heart. You have embraced your psychic abilities as they're expanding, as the divine is giving you more and more, what I believe are visions, right? You may be getting visions. Some of you have been maybe expanding or feeling expansion in other gifts. Could be getting, I'm also hearing you could be getting a lot of downloads from the divine. Make sure you write those down, okay? Keep track of those. They could be business ideas, okay? But this person is in regret, okay? But they need to learn a lesson in the fact that you need to speak your truth, right? They let their ego get in the way. And now, for some of you, this person may come back now, rushing in, thinking it's too late, or they're missing out. And for some of you, that may be the case. Because maybe, I mean, based on some of these cards here, you may have outgrown this person from maybe the last time you spoke to them. But I'm also hearing, like, you already knew how this person felt about you. You were just waiting for them to tell you. I'm getting this as well. For some of you, may already know, but they can never, they let their ego and their fear take hold. Well, and that's their loss, right? Because through that, I feel like you've grown, you've healed, you've risen above it, you've expanded, your glow is expanding now. And I think your focus is in a different place as well. Okay, I'm going to get some more messages from the Lighthouse box. We did get a lot of cards on this one, so I'm not going to get a whole lot of messages. But, for some of you, this is about a new opportunity. And then for some of you, this is about somebody who, was afraid to speak their truth on how they felt about you. But it looks like you're moving on and embracing yourself. You know your worth. You know your value. You can see what the transformation that's happening. You're getting these visions. Your focus is just on a different place. You're listening to your heart, right? You're getting I feel like you're getting what you need or needed from this person. You're now getting that from yourself. But everyone needs to know that there is nothing more sexier than an authentic truth. Okay? Okay. It says, I became my own healer. Yeah. And I feel like this butterfly is you, collective. Like, you've done your healing. This is why this opportunity is coming in. This is why you're glow. You're getting these visions, right? And this person missed out, but this is how they're going to grow. Nobody grows outside of pain. Pain is very valuable if you do something with it, right? If you turn it into power. But I feel like this is you, collective. You became your own healer. You healed yourself all on your own. Right? Some of you had family with you, but some of you didn't, I'm hearing. And if, congratulations, because healing work is not easy. It's not a journey for the weak. It's a journey for people who have true determination and true strength. So if that's you, congratulations. Please go out and do something to celebrate yourself. Nobody's going to celebrate you more than yourself. So go out, do something, special for yourself, whatever that is. And know, what it took to do this healing work. You overcame that mountain. And you came to the other side, and now your blessings are coming in. And I'm hearing that, the divine is so proud of you. They're so proud of you. Keep prayed up, keep the divine close, and listen to his guidance. I have the 7 of Cups. Okay. I'm gonna wait on that one. I want to get more information before Tower. Okay. You know what I'm getting with this? Okay, this is a tower. A tower, it could be good or bad, but a tower is basically the shakeup. And I'm getting it's from this person right here that is now in regret. Okay, they're now having a tower moment because maybe this person thought you had a lot of options. Maybe they thought you were delusional, or maybe you said something to them and they didn't think that it was actually true. Or they had a lot of options, right? Maybe they had a lot of options at the time and you were just one of them, but you actually love this person. I'm hearing unconditional love, right? And now this person is having a tower because they're in regret now that they didn't speak their truth, but it's too late. They were, if your case is that, they had many options and you were just one of them, and they couldn't see your unconditional love as the most valuable option, then you don't need this person back. They need to learn a lesson, right? And that's God's job. God teaches lessons, okay? There's never need for any trying to make things even or revenge or anything like that. You give it to the divine. You give it to God, and he deals with this person, right? Unfortunately, they didn't figure out your value until it was too late. But that's not your burden to carry. That's that person's burden to carry, right? Because they were too busy focusing on all these other options and thinking the grass was greener, right? That they couldn't even see the value of the love that you were offering, right? You know your worth now. I believe, collective, that you learned from this person. I believe that this person actually hurt you deeply, but you healed from that. And now you're an even better version of yourself because of it. So this wasn't a waste, right? You've learned, you healed, you've actually become more authentic, more and embrace your uniqueness with love. And you're focusing on that and focusing on the divine, letting him guide you to where you need to go now, right? Keep it simple. Okay, you could be going on vacation, or you were just at the beach or going to go to the beach. But this might be the way you like to live your life, collective. This might be a confirmation where you just like to keep things simple, okay? Simplicity is, it's easy to find peace in simplicity, right? There's no chaotic in that. It's just simple. I should say there's no chaos in that. It's just simple, right? And those, you know, if that's you and that works for you, that's great, because it's an easier way of finding peace within your life. Prove them wrong. Yeah, the best thing you can do, if you know, if this person or you're dealing with the pain, you know, we're all on different timelines here, right? You know, maybe this person had this idea of you, of who you were, and you've proved them wrong that no, I'm not that person. You know, maybe people were in this person's ear telling them a bunch of lies that weren't true, right? And just by healing yourself, loving yourself, finding that high level of self-love, and getting connected with the divine, raising your vibration, changing your thought patterns, you're proving them wrong just by the way you're living your life. That you were never that person. And you would never ever tolerate being someone's option, right? Because you know your worth now. You're listening to your heart. Okay. I have the letter Q. And I'm getting from this, it's like quick, right? Whatever is coming in, it's coming in quick. Okay. This is all happening quickly. Like this opportunity that's coming in, it's going to be happening quick. You're not going to see this coming. Okay? If not now, when? If not now, when? Right. And I'm getting with this, you know, this might be something that your person is thinking, well, if not now, when am I supposed to do this, right? When am I supposed to tell this person, right? But in your mind, you know, and everybody may be different. Some of you may still be waiting. Some of you may are like, no, I'm moving on. I'm not waiting for this person to be vulnerable and speak their truth on what I already know to be true. I think a lot of you already know, right? But this person is getting in their own way, you know. They may have also had a tower moment with one of these other options, meaning, you know, it could be a pregnancy or something like that, I'm getting. I don't know. That may be for, you know, one of you out there. But if not, when? And what I'm getting for you that doesn't have to do with this past person, it's what, if not now, when? When are you going to pursue that project, right? Working on your goals that you want to achieve. It's never, it's, you know, if not now, when? Spirit wants you to get started, get moving. If there's some kind of passion project you have, where it's, you know, an art project or a business or whatever it is, maybe it's schooling, maybe you want to start a workout program or a diet program, or you want to change your eating habits, or you want to do a Bible study, whatever it may be, you know, and it's going to be different for everyone. Get started on it, okay? Don't wait for perfection. If you wait for perfection, you're never going to get started, okay? Take your goal and break it down into small steps, small, tiny milestones. Maybe something you can do on a weekly basis, something you can do on a daily basis based on everyone's schedule, right? And slowly but surely you'll get there, but you got to get started. And starting is always the hardest part of the whole process. Don't let negative people keep you from seeing all the positives still around. Yeah, if you are surrounded by any negative people, okay, you need to reflect on that and see the truth, because it's not good for you, because you become who you hang with. So if you're around a bunch of negative people, they're whether you can realize it or feel it, because energy doesn't lie, you should be able to feel it, but it will affect your energy. You may notice, like, after hanging around these people, you feel completely exhausted. Like, all of a sudden, you feel like you just ran a marathon, you need to take a nap, and you're like, but I didn't do anything. I'll give you an example. I was talking to somebody on the phone, and I hadn't talked to this person in a while, and I literally was on the phone with this person maybe 3 minutes, talking about business. And when I got off the phone, I was like completely wiped out. Like somebody had just, put a cord in me and drained all of my energy. And I was like, wow. It was the most intense situation I've ever felt from like an energy vampire or somebody who was basically taking my energy and wanting, doing an energy exchange basically. And I was like, wow, okay. It was like a red flag. I'm like, okay, maybe I don't need to be doing business with this person or working with this person. Okay. So energy doesn't lie. So pay attention around how these people make you feel. And if you're feeling like more negative, more low vibe after you're hanging out with these people, then it's time to cut the cord, okay? Because they're no longer on your path. They're no longer aligned with where you're going. And they're only going to hold you back from this new opportunity, okay? Because what I'm really getting from this is both you are on the same vibrational frequency, right? I think I'm getting this person is going to help you elevate as much as you're going to help them elevate and heal. Okay? You're both going to help each other, but on, different angles, because you're on the same frequency, same vibrational level. You've healed, and now you're on equally balanced. So don't let these negative people, or you may have negative people around you, and this new opportunity comes around and they're like, yeah, this could even be family. This could be friends, family, co-workers. It could be anyone, right? And they're going to come in and say, I don't think you should take that. That's really risky. Oh, that's going to turn sour for you. Whatever they may say, you need not to listen to that. You need to go to the divine for answers, okay? Because these people just want to keep you small. Like, they're comfortable with you not reaching your potential. They're comfortable as long as you don't outshine them. But the moment you're rising and outgrowing them and outshining them, then you're a threat and now you're a problem, right? So don't let these negative people hold you back, because they would never support your rise. So why are they still in your life? Something to think about. Accept everything about yourself. I mean everything. And accept everything about yourself. I mean everything. You are you, and that is the beginning and the end. No apologies, no regrets. Accept everything about yourself. I mean everything. You are you, and that is the beginning and the end. No apologies, no regrets. Again, it's just another confirmation of being you, being authentic, okay? No matter what people say. You know what? And when you stand in your truth, your authenticity and your uniqueness, you really are what I classify as like a unicorn in this current environment and society that we live in, right? Don't be afraid to be different. Be brave to be different, okay? Because that is the sexiest part, is your truth, right? You know, everybody's trying to look sexier and be sexier, right? And then they open their mouth and it's just completely gone. So be your authentic truth, right? Be your authentic truth. You don't need to have perfection. You just need to be real. Okay? You, right? Just be you is what I'm hearing. Just be you. Just another confirmation, right? The universe is listening. They're hearing your prayers. The divine is hearing. And we have the Seven of Wands. I'm hearing with this, you're above the competition. You're above the competition. And I don't think you're trying. I think you're just being you. But Divine wants you to know that you're above the competition. Do not doubt yourself. Right? Do not doubt yourself. Okay? And you know, depending on what this person did to you in the past, you may need to protect yourself from this person. Okay? For some of you. And know that this is coming in quickly. Okay? So we're going to get one angel number card. These are my favorite cards, but let's get one angel number, and this will just be a confirmation that this is your message if you've been seeing this number, or you may start seeing this number. Okay? And the big, message for this reading for the collective is how important authenticity is, especially now, especially for your healing, right? And when you stand in that truth, you radiate a glow, right? You radiate a glow within yourself. And there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to like it, You may notice that people, like all of a sudden they don't like you, or they turn away, or they ghost you, or, not everyone, just the insecure people that are still wearing the masks, right? They're trying to be something they're not, where you become a mirror to these people. They don't want to look in that mirror. So don't let that sway you from coming down the mountain and putting a mask back on. Stay on top of that mountain, right? And let people come meet you where you're at, okay? And just keep being you, listening to your heart, right? Listening to your intuition. And don't second guess it, right? Like, I'm going to give you an example. This is something really simple, but I think it's important. I don't know, I'm being told to share it, but, our intuition can be so simple as the other day, I started taking a new vitamin, right? And I had eaten some food, but my intuition was like, you grab a protein bar. And I immediately said to myself, well, no, I'll be fine. I don't need that. I'm not hungry, is what I told myself. And then I more or less got out of the door and in my car, and I started driving, and I immediately started feeling nauseous. Like, oh my gosh. I knew it was the vitamin. I didn't have enough food, and I didn't bring that power bar. Of course, I stopped and got one, but I second guessed something small as my intuition telling me to grab that bar. So when it tells you, you need to move. When your intuition tells you, don't question it, just do it and move forward, right? It's your intuition. It's also the divine guiding you, right? And so, don't second guess what the divine is telling you, right? Because you may think, oh, well, I won't need that, just like I said in the power bar, because at the time I was fine. I'm like, I don't need it, right? But your intuition knows better. You know, the divine knows better. So make sure you keep listening to that and don't second guess it, okay? All right. What angel number does the collective need? Okay. We have number 30. Okay. You could be seeing 3030. Could be 30 years old. It says, you are an original, innovative thinker and an excellent communicator. You have a great talent for using creativity to convey your ideas, and your optimistic attitude has an uplifting effect on others. I am imaginative. Okay, so what I'm getting for this, for those who are thinking about doing some sort of side project where you be using your creativity or communicating with others, Spirit is saying you need to move forward on it. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a poem, maybe it's whatever that communication is. Could be social media. Move forward on that, okay? Because you're very innovative, right? You're an original. It comes back to this whole authenticity and how rare you are, how unique you are. And by embracing that, it's like bringing you into your superpower, okay? And don't let negative people distract you or throw you off your path. Prove them wrong, right? You're proving them wrong. Okay, so if you see this number, you know, when you're out and about throughout your day, or if you see it on a license plate or something, it's just a confirmation that the divine is with you, but also that this is your message. So keep an eye out for that. That's what I have for your message today. I will be doing daily readings every day, Monday through Friday. So keep that in mind. So we'll give you daily information of messages that you may need to hear and to keep you moving forward and keep you optimistic and getting you unstuck so you can move forward in your life, taking you to that hero status where the divine wants you to be. Okay, collective? I'm sending you so much love and light. I hope this resonated with you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.